Alright, we're firing up the record, and as obnoxious as we're gonna be is how obnoxious it's gonna be. Yeah, we got the Battle of the Random. This is, honestly, I think more of a meme than it's gonna be anything else. It's kind of insane when you think about it. Like... Oh, no, never mind. I thought Green was gonna play Random too. At least we got one point of fixed reference aside from colors. And I mean, olive and black, both those are impossible to see on the map anyways. Especially on this map. They're both gonna look like, You basically gotta go with allied and enemy colors. Otherwise, you're gonna just get dropped left and right. Take a look at that, man. Like, this just... The black blends into creep perfectly. And down here... Okay, we got ZVZ. Oh my god, this is disgusting. NCX. Gonna know he's playing ZVZ. Let's give him some real colors, so we at least got a real chance at this game. Alright, a bit of delay. I think NCX forgot how to play Zerg, didn't know how to get his, egg. Yeah, NCX playing random. I think he forgot his hotkeys, didn't know how to make a drone for a quick second. I was afraid he was gonna 4-pool. But nah, he thought the better of it, realized that that's not how you play this matchup. Now, Ash Green, on the other hand, you know, top spawn, you have the unfair advantage of having better mining. Now, I don't think that's going to make a difference one way or the other. There's going to be mistakes that happen, and, you know, 8 extra minerals isn't going to make a difference.
Yeah, going to get first scout.
Yeah, first scout coming over this way. And, honestly, Green's going to need it because he's got no idea he's playing against Zerg. I feel like when you're playing against random, one of the best things you can do probably is overpool, which, not a bad opening for ZVZ. And that's what he's doing here. Meanwhile, we got some big greed here coming out of NCX. Big greed, small naturals. I think we're going to be seeing either a 12 pull or a 12 hatch. Let's, alright, 12 pull it is, so going to be a little bit more economical, a little bit later on the lings. But the advantage you get out of this is not tremendous. In the end of it all, they're going to have similar drone counts. They're going to have similar mineral counts. Big difference is going to be that pool timing and the larva count. Got to be making that second hatchery here. Green, however, looks like they're going for a 6-ling variant on the overpool. We've got 4 coming out. Should have a 6. That should be some lings as well as a 6-ling variant. And that's going to be, well, long rush distance. He's going to see the fact that he's playing against Zerg here. Not going to be too big of a deal. The only disadvantage that NCX has here is he's not going to know the build that Green has gone for. But a 12 pool, you kind of don't need to have that information. So, not the worst. Not the worst. Second hatchery in base, because Green doesn't necessarily know what he's looking at here. These lings just popping out. I feel like we're going to see kind of like a turtle up into lair variant. I could even see him going for like slow lings so you get the lair before speed, but I might be wrong and he might have already gotten speed going there. So lair is up. Speed tech has come out here for NCX. It's going to be a little while before that's ready, but his lair is... Okay, no, he's actually gotten lair started, so he's a little bit behind on Green, but not by much. Got about 10 lings out front here. 10 on the long stretch. If NCX gets the space, he's going to be able to mine a lot more, just because he's got the second base, possible second gas. But again... It's Zerg versus Zerg. You never get time, you never get space, you never get the chance to breathe. The whole match is suffocating. What's our drone counts looking like here? We've got a total of 8 here for NCX, trying to prioritize the good patches if you can. Total of 7 on minerals over here for green, so 1 drone advantage on the minerals for green, or for NCX. He's actually going to keep droning up here. Oh, this is a greedy boy. All right, yeah, NCX has decided, you know what, man? I don't think you're going to come out and attack. I don't feel any pressure. I'm going to just start droning up. I can respect it. I don't know if it's going to work for him, but I can respect it. It takes some gumption. We've got the creep colony coming out here too, so this is why he's deciding to drone up. He says, all right, we're just going to throw down a sunken. You want to get some lings in here? Good luck, buddy. We can always fall back to this little tight choke point and mean that you can't really get in to get to the damage that you want. Both of them going for Spire, about 400 health, about 350, so a 50 health advantage on the Spire for NCX, or for Ash Green, I'm sorry, for Ash Green. But that's, no more than a couple of seconds. It's not going to matter when it comes to the rush distance. As well as this sunken, okay, well, it's turned into a sunken now. It hadn't committed yet. He could have gone for an Evo Chamber if he was really feeling it, and turned that into a Spore instead, trying to defend the natural a little bit. Both of them stockpiling the larva now. We're going to be seeing 4 mutas coming out from green with the gas for 2 more when the minerals show up. Meanwhile, waiting out. 3, and he's got the gas for 3 more. Just got to wait for the minerals. So, about even counts of mutas should be 6 and 6 when all's said and done. This is just going to come down to control. I swear to God, man, this is exactly how ZVZ is supposed to go. It's by the... Oh, we got some Scourge. So it's not going to be all muta all the time. Instead, 2 pairs of Scourge coming out and a 3 of a kind on the Mutalisks. I don't know if that turns out to be a full house, or if we got ourselves some Scourge coming out here, ready to pop out these mutas. 1 goes down. We gotta get some control out here, though. Losing a muta and taking a ton of damage on the second one. Scourge on Scourge action. Not going to be any action. It's just everybody runs away. We don't want to have none of that. Pulling the chair away from the table and says, I fold for the moment. 3 mutas over here. 3 mutas over here, but 1 critically damaged. 4 Scourge, and alright, here come the Speedlings. But they've got a long way to go. There's a lot of enemy Speedlings as well, and this is where things get nice and chaotic. Green says, alright. Playing it by the book, playing it textbook. We got to get a second base here. This is where the opportunity for the Scourge to run in goes. 1 muta down. A connection on from muta, Scourge on Scourge. And no damage there. Nice control here from green. Only losing 1 muta to the incoming Scourge. But there is a drastic difference in the muta count here. The second gas really paying off for NCX, and he's going to take this flock of 7 mutas into the enemy base and see if we can make any magic happen. The gas for green is looking critical, and he is not going to have a great defense here. Needs to control his little Zerg heart out. Targeting the gas drones, running away, possibly some flick shots. Nice moving shot here, but this is just absolutely carnage as the numbers of mutas for NCX vastly outnumber what green's got. Green has no gas available here, and this is going to turn into a drastic snowball. It really does just come down to who has more mutas, and the answer here in this game was NCX. Maybe you should just random better. That's the way it goes. If I know I'm playing ZVZ, then, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a slightly greedier build because you don't know what's coming. So yeah, green, couple of throws of desperation here, trying to send the lings in. Maybe I can end the game that away. It's not gonna happen. The sunken's here, the lings are here, the party is over. Ash Green, it's time to tap, my buddy. There you go. Are you not entertained? Is this not exactly what we came here for? At least I certainly hope it is, because I don't have a whole lot of time. If we get 1 more ZVZ, then we can actually finish this one out. But who knows? NCX is playing random. He's a scumbag like that. It's not even the proper, honest man's random where you tell him your race. Nah, I'm gonna make you a scout, baby. Seeing Mick's icon light up over there on the Discord like he's talking, but there ain't nobody else there. Or if it is, then it's just my audio's screwed up. I'm gonna guess it's that case. Ain't nobody else talking. We are up and on to attitude. Oh, I got a couple of notifications from work. Apparently I got my work browser still up. Let's go ahead and 86 that. That's why not all that important. You can still hear it coming in from behind me, but I don't really care. I'm off of work. They know I'm off of work. It ain't important. But speaking of having work to do, Ash Green's got some work to do to come back into this series. I know it ain't fun playing against random. I know it ain't fun playing ZVZ into random. But boy, I tell you what, you need to start running that 9 pool and acting like you got a ZVZ until you know better. NCX gonna keep rolling that random all the way into Happy Oblivion though, and playing that olive random at that, the one that you can never see on the minimap. At least NCX is winning the battle there and also choosing black, making it hard to see him as well, making you spend that extra APM to change the colors at the start of the game. I think they're having a battle over who's going to be the home team. Green finally gives it up. I can't say I blame him. NCX asking if the map has any special features. Dude, it's polypoid with, Yeah, this is polypoid without the high ground third. That's exactly what this is. Anyways. I love it. These guys haven't played since CPL. It's been like literal months since either of them played. That's why this is just a proper clown fiesta. But we're gonna get this one on the road and get this one up and running. What do we got? All right. All right, good. Green is deafened. He can't hear me. We do have ourselves a ZVT this time, so hopefully the game doesn't go too long. If it does, I'm gonna have to bail. But I feel like the games I have seen from NCX in the past were him playing Terran.
Oh, sorry, man.
I completely agree with that Frenchman. But yeah, overall, I feel like last game didn't really have any lessons to be learned, anything to really glean out of it, aside from just random better. But I also feel like this is probably the best matchup for Zerg if they're playing against random. Because you can get away in this matchup with like playing really greedy or really aggressive, and the opening doesn't make like a huge difference overall. Whereas in Zerg versus Zerg or in Zerg versus Protoss, there are builds where if you like play too greedy, you end up in a really bad situation. So in this case, we are going to see a 9 pool with gas out of Green. So he's not actually doing an extractor trick here. He's going to go a full Overlord play. Going to be looking to try and get the 6-lings out on that 9 pool and do like an aggressive play. But this wall at the ramp here, like a 1-base Terran going either mech or 1-1-1, maybe even 2-port Wraith. This is actually going to be kind of interesting. The 9 pool here is probably going to get blocked off, so like the early aggression that green wants to get out of this is actually going to get stymied, and this stands to be a really good advantage to NCX, especially because if he's going for like 2-port Wraith, then you're not going to have any way of actually knowing if it's that or 111 that's coming out here. Oh my god, green's holding at the ramp because he thinks it might be ZVZ. No way. The problem is, though, NCX isn't actually walling, so... Alright, here we go. Is moving out. There's just an SCV on the ramp, maybe 2? Okay, we're gonna bring 2 SCVs, but we're not walling this in. He's just gonna go ahead and stop it. Oh my god. NCX, this is a blind counter. He didn't actually even see those Zerglings, I don't think. Yeah. So he's just gonna hold off the 9 pool with just SCVs. He has no idea it's coming, just reading it off of the random. We have the factory coming down. We're gonna have a ton of gas that we can go... I think this is gonna be 2-port. I think this is gonna be 2-port. There's so much gas that's floating right here. NCX is gonna have so much gas, and he's just gonna go ahead and, like, be able to slam down 2 starports as soon as this is done. Because he's not pulling the SCVs off of gas here that you'd usually do for like a 111 build or for just going mech. Now this is a lot of SCVs that aren't mining, so it is going to slow down the rate of mineral acquisition for a little bit. Especially he's got a couple of idle ones over here. He's just broken the supply block that he was dangerously close to. Also going to be going for... Yeah, this is 2-port. He's got 2 SCVs out here already. Second one's going to build a port as well. We're going to be seeing Wraiths popping out of here. And what do we have on this side? Spire is very speedy. This is actually really nice timing because he delays the hatchery by so much. Going a very, very low productivity build here for green. This is almost like super teched out against exactly this build. Playing very, very careful here, but seeing this Vulture should actually give it away that this is probably going to be either like a 111 or a 2-port Wraith. The fact that he's got the Mutalisks ready to go in just a minute is going to come down to a big old micro battle, and based on what we're seeing here from green, his Ling micro is pretty good. I hope his Muta micro is good as well. We've got 3 Mutas rip-roaring and ready to go. Here they go. Well, 2 and 1 more in just a moment. Vultures should get a little bit of extra damage here, but when the Mutas come out, they're going to be able to harass this down. Not coming out onto the map yet. Instead, dropping the creep colony, trying to get the Sunkens out here to stop the run-in. This is a very, very low economy build here for green. He needs to stop these Vultures or get across the map to do some damage. Blocking off the ramp, gonna lose a drone here. Vultures, unfortunately, getting some high ground misses, but fantastic conversion here between the Mutas and the Lings. Damage is going to be stymied. The 2-port is running, but in equal numbers, Mutalisks do beat Wraiths with decent control. So these Marines are going to need to pull back and deal with the Mutas to help out the Wraiths until you can get more. Problem here is, though, the drone count for green is so incredibly light, he needs some damage off this, but 2 Mutas do hardly anything. 3 Mutas even do hardly anything. Making it hard for the Marines to get in, though. Ooh, a bit of a miss micro. Those Mutas are going to have to run away with their tail between their legs. Still big opportunities for NCX, and he's continuing to just crank out production of Wraiths. But again, this is a case where nobody is really getting a lot of damage done, and with bad control or even the tiniest bit of miss micro, both of these players are going to be able to get a ton of damage out there. So 5 Mutalisks coming in, NCX has to run away. This is going to be basically Zerg versus Zerg all over again, where you just have Wraiths versus Mutalisks instead of Muta versus Muta. He's actually going ahead and starting the control tower. We're going to be seeing him try to make the transition, I believe, into cloaked wraiths. Kill off the overlords and then be able to possibly pick off the mutas. 7 mutas here against 5 wraiths. And he's able to keep making mutas at a higher count than NCX can make wraiths. But again, the problem is the economy and the larva economy. Nice little drive in here. Gets 1 drone out of it, but not able to get any more. The moving shot here. This is really dangerous. Trying to spread apart the wraiths. Oh my god, that is great spread. But he's going to lose 2 of them from this moving shot. Green has such good control here, and Mutalisks do outpace wraiths. Really, really nice control here from Green. NCX trying to get his cloak, trying to get more wraiths in. At this point, I mean, he is starting the natural base, but I feel like we are very, very close to calling this an all-in. Speed for the Overlord finishes for Green, but not able to save that one in time. Gonna be making it a little bit harder for the Muta stack to continue with the fact that the speed is done for the Overlords. They're going to close the gap faster, break the magic box. But at this point as well, when you have this much of a numbers advantage, it's a little bit tougher for these wraiths to counterattack. Even if the magic box is broken, 1 more wraith goes down, but there's the cloak. The counterattack is on. Moving shot from NCX, but here's the Overlord. You've got to snipe it down or run away, and we're going to choose to run away, live to fight another day. Barely keeping that wraith alive at 1 shot. NCX not having a great time this game. Has to turtle up. He is behind on economy. He is barely ahead on supply. And when the Zerg is ready to outsupply you, that's when you know you're having a bad time. Lots and lots and lots of missile turrets here. Putting a bit of a bruising on the mutas. But just look at how much static defense there is here from NCX. He has completely given up on even the prospect of putting pressure on the map. At this point, if you're Green, yeah, you can go ahead and just make more mutas, or you can make 6 bases, and there's nothing that NCX can do about it. Like, NCX has completely sacrificed map control. He's actually repairing the damaged wraiths. These things take so long to repair because they take so long to build. And they cost so much resources per hit point to repair. Like, repairing wraiths is one of the least efficient things you can do with your time. It's insane. And just take a look at this, man. Oh, we've got ourselves a proper swarm of mutas. We've got ourselves a swarm of mutas. No upgrades for him yet, though. I'd like to see him pick up maybe like +1 armor for the mutas. Really start making these bad boyos bruise. He's even grouping the overlords with them like he can actually stack it. You need to use Burrow, my man. I know you know this. You play better than I do. No academy for NCX. He's kind of just all in on this concept. Coming in over. There's only 3 turrets, but a lot of wraiths here. You gotta turn and fight. You gotta turn and fight. Trying to take out the overlords so he can get the chance to cloak, and now he can. But a lot of them don't have the energy to. Takes a lot of damage there. 6 wraiths. Half of them don't even have the energy to cloak. And that's a lot more mutas, but they are gonna turn, run away. 3rd base is up here for Green. We're going Hive as well. You know, if you can't break a base, if you can't break a position, there's some secret tech that Zerg's got that can do it for you. It's called Dark Swarm. Might just be the best spell in the game. And I think Green's ready to give it to him and show him why. Look more Harass wants to draw these wraiths out or stop him from making any more of those turrets. 7 wraiths here. There's a lot more mutas, though. You can just turn and fire. You can man fight this if you want to. Oh, look at the paper planes fall. They're like shooting stars coming out of the sky. Down goes the eBay. That means no more turrets for you. Any damage is permanent until that eBay is remade. The fact that eBay was floating as well means you are not going to be seeing any more bio coming out for the most part. They're just going to get popped into bunkers, and once the upgrades start showing up, these Marines are going to be less than worthless. We got the starports continuing to operate at full steam. We've got an armory as well, so it could be Valk Tech. Yeah, we actually got one out here already. So we're going to be seeing maybe 3 Valks hitting the field. We're also going to be having air weapons, it looks like. No academies still, no science facilities still. NCX is a single-minded man, and that mind is all for the starport. He says, I don't want to make any more tech. I'm going to treat this like a Zerg playing versus Protoss. The only unit I want to make is a Hydralisk. Same thing here. The only building I want to leverage is my starport. Third base getting rolled up. We've got Lurker Tech here as well from green. That's another option. There's very little detection out here on the map, but problem being that the Lurkers can't shoot into the air, and there's a lot of an air force here for NCX. Continuing to crank out of these starports, I think we're going to see more Valkyries. The air superiority battle might end up being won by NCX, but I don't think that's the long-term play here for green. Stacking up a pile of Lurkers over here, turtling up, waiting for the Dark Swarm to be ready. And that's going to be where the game goes, I think. Yeah, we got the man droning big. Now, the big problem that we do have, though, is there is very, very, very little anti-air for green. He's making the big play here for... Oh, he's actually not even going to bother going Defiler. He's just making Ultra. He says, we're playing upgrades, Zerg. It's not crazy. We're just going upgrades. But, problem is that nothing he's got is going to shoot up. So if the air superiority battle is lost, then you can get rid of all the overlords and prevent green from doing any more production as long as you get out there before the ultras come out. Here come the Valkyries. Let's watch the carnage. First volley, bruising, battering, abusing. But the problem with Valkyries is they're a little bit slow. It takes some time for them to move out onto the map. And these mutas are like, not where I want to be. I think we've got Hydras producing, but it's going to be Hydras that probably don't have upgrade. We've got Scourge coming out onto the map. He wants to try and just do some abuse of the Valkyries, but that's a really, really tough proposition. Scouting it out with the Valks. If these are Scourge, they've got a lot of work to do against this veritable Air Force. Here come the Scourge. A little bit of a sliding shot, but we do get some connections here. 2 Valks down from the Scourge. All of the drones going to be taken out by the Wraiths. And here come the Ultras. So running through the Nidus, consolidating at the natural. Green, he's decided he's probably got about one opportunity to do some major, major damage. And if it wasn't for these tanks, I think that he would have that major damage. But this is a pretty choked up area. Gonna be hard to get in. Those tanks do a lot of damage. Gonna need to really control this brilliantly to have a shot at bringing this position down. And he's only gonna have one, I think. The longer you wait, the more damage this Air Force is going to do. And they're already turning away from the buildings, trying to get damage onto softer targets. Taking down drones, they're gonna be hunting for overlords. This rally is all that you've got here for green. If this push doesn't work out, the game is absolutely and undoubtedly over, in my opinion. The tanks on the high ground pummeling away. Turrets opening fire on the mutas. 3 Ultras already down. The Lurkers burrowing on the choke, trying to make a path through. Punching through the low ground tanks, the high ground tanks getting beat up by the Mutalisks, and here we go. I think the position may be broken. I think green may have done it, but there's not much left here. Only one Ultralisk, and so many of these Mutalisks getting abused here. I think everybody ends up hurting too much to really continue fighting. However, in come more Ultras, green spending out, and this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. The push could win off of this. One Ultra dying as it tries to make it to the high ground, but this tank, it is not enough of a hero. Tanks are good against Ultras, but not when they've got nothing to cover for them. Two more tanks coming out, gonna try and pound away at this. Big armor upgrades, but the tanks do a lot of damage through it. Trying to repair. Ooh! Stopping the mine from hitting. NCX doing everything he can except for spending his money to try and stop this push. He's counterattacking at the top as well with the Wraiths, but it's only on buildings, and Wraiths are horrible against buildings. The tanks are down in the main. Green looking for the buildings here. All of the overlords are gone. Green has no more money that he can spend, no more supply cap. So this is NCX who can't spend his money fast enough, and Ash Green who can't spend his larva at all. But I do believe there are enough buildings here, enough units rather, to secure the game for Ash Green. And unfortunately, I think that we're not going to be able to have a game 3 get cast anyways, because I need to get out of here. Oh, nice siege up over here. Get those SCVs out in front. Don't let them Ultras get in. Don't let them you let them Ultras get in. Oh, you poor soul. You got to get that repairing. No. SCV's running. Oh, where are you running to, boy? What you running for? I don't know what those SCVs think they're doing, but they're just going on a suicide mission. These Ultras ripping and tearing like this is doom, baby. Let's just watch the carnage, man. We'll do it from a bird's eye view. There's nothing left here for the man NCX. He's got a bank bigger than Fort Knox. He's got a bank that's made of snow because he can't spend any of it. There is no liquid value to these minerals. The production is gone on everything except for the starports, and even those are not long for the world. The Ultras are unstoppable because these Wraiths do nothing but tickle them. 3 damage a shot. NCX calls GG. And that's going to be me signing off because I cannot cast a third. I've got places to be. Thank you, everybody.